Imagine a towering man, built like a mountain, who once stared death in the face and walked away. But behind that unbreakable spirit burned a quiet fire, one aimed straight at another giant of the screen. He never spoke the words aloud, but those close to him knew. He couldn't stand the sight of him. And now, after all these years, the truth is finally coming out. He came into the world in the shadow of hardship. Born in a small Illinois town in 1927, right as the Great Depression tightened its grip, money was scarce. But love wasn't. Raised by a mother of Czech roots and a father who toiled in the oil fields, he learned early that nothing came easy. The outdoors became his escape. Wide skies, open fields, the kind of freedom a kid could feel in his bones. Dropping out of school to help put food on the table, he took whatever work he could find, hauling cargo on riverboats, hammering steel in factories, even slipping into the shadows as an undercover investigator. Life was raw, real, and it carved him into something unbreakable. At 17, with a world at war, he signed up for the Merchant Marine. The sea tested him, storms, long nights, the weight of duty. When he came home, he carried that steel inside him. Standing sick, friends pushed him toward the bright lights of Hollywood. He laughed it off at first, taking a gig, bouncing drunks at a Vegas hotel. But one night, a scout stopped dead in his tracks. "Kid," he said, "you belong on camera? No acting classes. No connections, just raw presence." He landed tiny parts at first, one line here, a shadow there. Then came the role that changed everything. A wandering loner in the first hour-long Western TV show ever made. Week after week, millions tuned in to watch him ride across the screen. Honorable, a man who spoke with actions, not words. The nation fell in love. He became the face of the frontier, the cowboy every kid wanted to be. But success came with chains. Studio contracts locked him in, paid him pennies while they cashed in millions. Fed up, he walked away, risked it all. Movies followed, war pictures, survival thrillers, even a brutal mission behind enemy lines with a crew of killers. He played gentle giants and stone-cold warriors, always with that same quiet power. Fans couldn't get enough that. Then came the day that should have ended him. High in the California mountains, a ski pole snapped through his chest straight into his heart. Doctors pronounced him gone, flatline. But one surgeon saw a flicker, a pulse too faint to believe. They cracked him open, stitched the impossible, and 2 months later, he was back on set. The man who played heroes had become one. If this story touches your heart, please share it. Love found him 3 times. First came a young marriage, a daughter born into the chaos of early fame. She grew up to shatter ceilings, one of the first women to pilot commercial jets. But the spotlight strained the bonds, and after 20 years, it ended quietly. Alone for a while, he healed. Then came a second chance, a warm, devoted partner who filled his days with laughter. They built a life together, 20 strong years, until death stole her away. Grief hit hard, but hope isn't easily crushed. In his 70s, he married again, a steady hand, a soft place to land. They settled in a quiet valley, far from the noise, and stayed side by side until the end. He ate clean fish, chicken, never red meat, stayed active, stayed sharp, even voiced his politics, backing a tough-talking conservative in '64, standing firm on freedom and self-reliance. The cowboy on screen believed the same of it. But beneath the legend simmered a storm. Another actor tall, deep-voiced, iron-jawed, the same airwaves. Their shows battled for viewers every week. One became a cultural monument, running 20 years. The other, groundbreaking, but cut short by studio fights. Our hero clawed his way up from nothing. The other, handpicked by a Hollywood king, handed the keys to immortality. Whispers followed them at premieres, award shows, quiet bars after rap parties. One was warm, quick, with a smile, still carrying the dust of factory floors. The other, polished, distant. Some said he looked down on the new guy. Comparisons never stopped. Who was taller, tougher, more authentic. One show ended, the other became legend. And every time the name was spoken, a muscle twitched in our hero's jaw. He never trashed the man in public, never gave the tabloids a quote. But those who knew him best saw the chill in his eyes. It wasn't just rivalry, it was resentment, deep and personal. A blue-collar fighter watching a chosen son claim the throne he'd bled for. Years rolled on. The accident, the comeback, the quiet retirement, 3 marriages, a daughter who soared, and always that unspoken weight on a spring day in 2018 at 90 years old. His heart finally gave out, not from a ski pole, but from time. He left behind a grandson, a wife who held his hand to the end, and a legacy that still thunders across screens. He was more than a cowboy. He was proof that real strength doesn't roar, it endures. If you felt every beat of this story, hit that like button. Subscribe for more untold legends, and share this with someone who needs to remember. Even giants carry scars, because some rivalries never die, they just wait for the truth to ride in.